Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios. Thanks for watching us during this COVID. We're still masked up. We're trying to provide some entertainment. Last week, I got to have a little disclaimer. Smoking Jim was off for 3 weeks. He lost $8,000 betting, and he watched our show 5 or 6 times per day, along with the NFL and college films that he watches 2 per day. He was completely out of control. We checked the minutes that he was talking. It was 42 minutes and 38 seconds. It's a brand new record. Never had it happen on Pittsburgh Sportsline. But I'm Al Levine, the talking machine, and I got to steal a quote from my man. I'm just an honest man. Please ignore what I said previously. We got Smoking Jim Frazier here, Chip Hayner, and we got the Rookie of the Year, Nick Callis, sitting right next to me.
Look at them arms on Nick.
And believe it or not, for all of you that have listened to Smoking Jim, we are not related. But he now stepped up in the BPTV programming and things. He's been on a couple other shows. He's just taken over this studio left and right. But we're going to talk some sports, and we got a lot to talk about. I'll start with some promos. Let's see if I can get this in the proper position. First up, we got Connor on the camera. Look at this now.
How?
412-831-1900. Olive Oil's Pizzeria used to supply us with a pizza. With all the snow, I haven't been driving around. I just dug out today. So it was about 9 inches of snow in the driveway, Smoking Jim.
Wow.
I'm strong, so I got it. But I haven't gone to Olive Oil's to see if Frank still owns it, because Dave said if he does, maybe we can try to get a slice of pizza for the show. So we can get back to that if they'll still sponsor us. So check it out. Great Italian food there. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, sent you there at Hillcrest Shopping Center. Actually, it's right near the Pizza Hut. Can't miss it. Next up, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Look at this Connor. He's on fire. Not only that, he picked Tampa Bay. He went with Smoking Jim this time, and Nick called this 2 months ago when he joined us.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold back anymore. These guys are unbelievable. I'll apologize for my pick in a little bit, but we honored Joey. He was 9 years old when he died just a month before his 10th birthday. 6 years ago, he died of the dreaded DIPG. It's a brain cancer. His family, instead of being down in the dumps, they still miss Joey and honor him every day and year. But they raised over $100,000, sent it to doctors to try to find a cure for DIPG. Check out their Facebook page. Check out Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation online, too. Maybe you can help out. Next up, another 501c3. But here's the test for Connor. I'm a little nervous here. Oh, okay. 3 in a row. Bethel Park Historical Society, Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. You can see the trolley there, red trolley with all the snow on it, so that's where you go. They have a lot of shops there. 1905 historic Bethel Park School. They've refurbished it, have people renting from them. They have my favorite tea place, Reginald's Coffee. Get my loose leaf green tea, and for all you coffee lovers, people love the place. It has fresh roasted coffee from all over the world. Maybe even Smoking Jim would like a cup. And they have Wi-Fi. If he can sit outside 10, 15 feet away, he can do his Wi-Fi on his phone while he's texting. So we'll see what happens. But check them out, Bethel Park Historical Society. Next up, another 501c3. That's all I'm promoting lately. No events are coming up, but Bethel Park Community Foundation. And Bethel Park has money for you. $100 to $5,000 for your group or organization doing good things in the Bethel Park community. Not the stories that Smoking Jim says and what he wants to do, except...
I want some money.
Well, right down here, he donates money for a 10-piece dark meat bucket at KFC. So that's my promotion for KFC, right near Pep Boys and Level 20. You can't miss it. We used to do shows at Level 20, so support them too in Bethel Park. But you're not getting money. We have it. We've given out $1 million in 25 years. I'm a trustee on the board. Get your application, come in there. We meet every couple months. So we can help your group out. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun. We'll see if Connor can get this one. Whoa! There's my smiling face on Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al, the talking machine, wants you for BPTV. You could be like Nick, taking over the studio. You could be like Connor, not wearing shorts today. You can be like Anthony, that Smoking Jim said he has the best hair since Elvis, but he doesn't seem to remember how Elvis used to have a pompadour, and Smoking Jim doesn't know what that is. So he'll have to look that up, and he brushed his hair back. He was a blonde-haired guy, Smoking Jim, and he dyed his hair black.
I never knew that.
Well, you've learned so much from the talking machine in 9+ years. He still hasn't learned how to do yoga, Pilates, or anything healthy that could help him out. And he still doesn't know how to cook and doesn't believe I can cook good meals like I do. Tuck those arms in better. But they're too. So call 412-831-3304. Glad that wasn't on camera with him doing some yoga. We've had yoga people on, and I said, can you teach, this is a true thing, the quote was, can you teach Smoking Jim how to breathe? And they tried to explain you got to breathe from your diaphragm. He goes, excuse me? And she had to show him. That's another story, but that's what I have. I got the test for Connor. You all know each week you wait for this. He's already shown it. I'll try not to shake on this one. How am I doing?
Not even a quiver.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Looks incredibly steady.
Ow.
Wow! 6103 Route 88 Skeet Service Station, sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski. They sponsor What's on Your Mind, anything and everything that runs on gas. They work on electric things and devices. They have an axle shop. They work on engines, you name it. They have a forge. They make hooks for all the stuff that the Sweeties give Smoking Jim. 2 bedrooms of an 18-bedroom house. He has their stuff in there. It's a mausoleum of Sweeties. And I'm not lying. I'm just trying. But thank you to Skeets. Give them a call, 724-348-4715. You can read it there. Thanks, Connor. That's a heck of a shot. You had a little hiatus. You come back, and you're doing great. You picked up right where you left off. Thank you. All right, now we got to ask Smoking Jim. I'm afraid to get this show started. Let me take a deep breath. Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
High hard one.
you got to see the video. Oh, I got
Yeah.
it. It didn't hit the ground. It didn't hit the ground.
You look just like Antonio Brown.
yeah.
I didn't see him. What did he do?
Yeah, apparently he rode somebody else's coattails to a title.
Smarts from out of football to Super
Hey,
Bowl.
you didn't have to become a part of it. You only had to get his pants dirty once.
I give him credit.
But I tell you what.
Go ahead.
I got a bone to pick with all you guys. I got a bone to pick
Ooh.
with Gateway's field goal kicker next year, Connor. I got a bone to pick with the biggest arms in Bethel Park, Nick. Al Levine, the talking machine, Chip, and even my man Elvis Presley, Anthony.
How did he get
You
to be
guys
Elvis?
never told me white folks like chicken. I go to Kentucky Fried to get my bucket. The line's all the way back. I'm like, I'm going to be late for the show. I can't back out. So I told them, do you know Al Levine, the talking machine from BPTV? They said, no, but we know Nick. I'm like, yeah, I got to do a show with Nick. They said, come on around. I pull around. We got a bucket waiting on you. So
Yes.
it's good.
Disclaimer, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I have to say this. Smoking Jim told me since I first met him, and he's done it every year in most shows, I am an honest man. Sorry.
But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chip,
We'll get serious.
I don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers want to go to the Super Bowl or the Blue Bonnet Bowl. Of all the qualified offensive coordinators on the planet, they hire Matt Canada, who never coached in the National Football League. For the last 30 years, he coached in college football. He coached at LSU. They fired him. His last job was at Maryland. They fired him. The Steelers hired him as a quarterback coach to a quarterback that don't need any coaching. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers blew it when they let Russ Grimm get away. They blew it when they let Mike Munchak get away. They experimented by promoting Mike Munchak's Coffee Boy. 2 years later, worst run team in the league. They fire Charette, and then they go get the nutty professor. Listen, Adrian Klump. I watched this guy when he played for Hawaii. He was a 335-pound finesse blocker with a soft underbelly. New England Patriots cut him because he never seen a run block he wanted to make. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers promote the Coffee Boy's Coffee Boy. The Pittsburgh Steelers got the worst running game, and they hire a guy that put the F in finesse. He can't teach run blocking. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers got the worst running game in football. They rehired a running backs coach. The defensive backs never played any better, but they fired Tom Bradley, who got more coaching experience than all the Steelers assistant coaches combined. You know, I would call the Pittsburgh Steelers coaching staff a Mickey Mouse group, but that would be insulting to Mickey Mouse. I'm not here to hate. I'm just shooting straight. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't want to be great. They just want to be 8-8.
Yeah, maybe that's why they ended up 12-4.
That was like poetry.
He's done this.
Unbelievable.
It's new to you, but he's done this for years. That's why we're oblivious to it, because he went 2 years in a row when they were 8-8. And if I can't get that on my head, it's because they don't want to be great, just 8-8. And they were 2 years in a row. Look back at the records, Nick. Check it out. Thank you, Smoking Jim. Chip Hayner, at least that was shorter than last week. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? And Smoking Jim, I love how you critique other people, but the day you can do better, prove it. But
Wow. Another disclaimer. Knockout punch by Chip Hayner.
No.
Knockout.
So here we go. You want to know what's on my mind?
Yeah. Besides
One of the
smoking.
worst Super Bowls played in the last 15 or 16 years. The lowest TV ratings since 2006.
Wow.
And that even includes the people that live streamed the game. So it was one of the least watched Super Bowls of this century. But I do have to tip my hat to Bruce Arians. And not for the reasons that my friend Jim Frazier, because Jim Frazier likes to allude to the fact that he's a genius. But it's awfully curious that Tom Brady makes whoever's coaching him look like a genius. Look at Bill Belichick.
How's that happen? What a
And
coincidence.
look at Bruce Arians. The one thing I want to give Bruce Arians credit for, because James Brown, before the game, called out the commissioner of the NFL, or the NFL in general, just by saying that their hiring practices were suspect because of the lack of minority hirings for head coaching
Oh, yeah.
positions
Especially in Black History Month. there.
and coordinator
Yeah.
positions. Bruce Arians is the only coach in the NFL who's all three of his coordinators are African Americans, and he had 2 women on his coaching staff. And
What's he doing? Are they good looking?
with that makeup, they won the Super Bowl this year. And I
Right.
will tell you this, Tampa Bay absolutely beat the snot out of the Kansas City Chiefs, even though the referees made more of a presence in the game than they should have. And Alan will allude to this when he's talking. His father was a coach for
Or a
decades
referee.
and decades. In a well-officiated game, you don't even know the refs are there. Calls were being made that weren't being made at other points during the playoffs and
Yes.
even during the season. But all that said, the calls are not the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs lost.
No, they
The
got
Kansas
outplayed.
City Chiefs lost because Tampa Bay played as a team, and Kansas City played more like a bunch of individuals. And that just goes to show you that teamwork wins it in the end. That's what's on my mind.
Thank you, Chip. And you got smoking, clapping. Whoa, giving you knuckles. All right, we'll go with Nick now. What's on your mind?
Smoking Jim, I got great news. Smoking Jim.
Yes, sir.
I just signed a contract today with the Bethel Park Council. I'm a co-owner of BPTV now. I'm really
Congratulations.
Way to go, Sonny.
just so you know, it keeps getting better.
That's it.
Pretty soon I'll own the municipality. I'm sure.
You're welcome. You're welcome for
From
the
Uncle Al.
for the faux. He doesn't understand faux. FAUX. Nepotism.
Right. Yes, that's
And I
what
tell you what, Nick,
He's all faux.
Nick is the only person from Bethel Park allowed in Monroeville. Congratulations, buddy.
Hold it. Disclaimer. Tony from Chick-fil-A. Smoking Jim's from Gateway. And he doesn't understand a map.
Oh gosh.
As I've said before, I grew up in Green Tree, and Nick and I have that in common. He's in Green Tree, and he works in Bethel Park here. And he just signed the multi-year, no money deal
Uncle
of the
Al.
century. Of the century. So now that you know how Gateway doesn't know how to read maps, doesn't know where east, west, north is.
But let's not ever forget, the Gators don't thrive in the Three Rivers.
Right. Right. Excellent point, Chip.
Oh my.
All right, Nick, carry
All
on.
right. But
What else might
more-
be on
more-
your mind?
More seriously.
Because that was very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that announcement. Congratulations to you and your family.
Yeah.
And don't listen to
It's a little
Gateway.
cold for him.
But no, this is the first time I think I can remember that
You were
far
right.
back in the season,
You were right.
I predicted the winner of a major championship, and it was this year. I predicted
Congrats
back
again.
in November, December. I predicted. I was like, yeah, the best team that I think could win the Super Bowl at this point would be the Buccaneers, and it happened.
I'll
Now,
do a
unlike
disclaimer. I'll
smoking-
do a disclaimer.
Yeah.
He's 100% accurate in what he said, unlike a previous guest that we had talking.
So here's
Right,
a question
well-
I have to ask.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So who do you refer to as the city of champions? Los Angeles or Tampa Bay? Each won 2 major sports championships this year.
That's a
Almost
tie.
3 actually too.
It's a tie.
The Rays
The
almost
Dodgers
won
and the
too.
Lakers and
They won the World Series.
Lightning.
Yeah,
and the-
that's
and the
true.
So,
Bucks.
I mean,
2.5.
Once you
They're
continue-
leaning. Yes.
but I'll go into detail later of how I think money and other influences get involved to how I came to the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. I'm going to go into a conspiracy theory later on, but what's on my mind right now is that I am just super thrilled that I was able to make a correct prediction so far back in the season.
Well, congratulations, young man.
Thank
At
you.
22 years old, I don't want to say you've hit the top, but you may be at Mount Everest right now. So be careful.
Well, yeah,
It's hard to get above that.
it's hard to get
Yeah,
back
there's
down
nowhere
too.
from-
once
No,
you're
no,
out.
it's
nowhere
easy
from here
going
but
down. It's
Mount
easy to
Everest?
go down, yes.
Alan, there's nowhere from here but down, right?
That's my
Well-
point. Yes.
Well,
Sorry. That was above his head. I apologize.
no, it's
You're
all
still
right.
going to college. You're going to learn that stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah, well,
It's
Hey, I
very easy.
I got the 6th grade education over here.
That's very, very good. You get an A. We got A's, we got B's, we got D's from Gateway. Thank you very much, Nick. What's on my mind? Super Bowl. I predicted KC and Mahomes. I apologize if you bet, but like I told you, don't bet unless you can bet against Smoking Jim. And we figured out in 3 months, he lost almost $25,000 because he says, and again, this is the honest man. You know I'm repetitive like I was last week. I'm an honest man. He bets $250 a day, $250. So 90 days times 250, do the math. He won $865 for the Super Bowl. And he said, like guys at the track that would bet 1,000 and win 200, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Now, as I said, they bet 1,000 to win 200. He spent almost $25,000 to win 865. If you want to bet and bet like that, you're in my prayers. But the game, like Chip's alluding to, we talked before, 8-1 in calls Tampa Bay. My dad would have been appalled by it because, like I told Nick previously, I played football and there was holding on every play. Or if there wasn't, there was kicking, tripping. There was something going on every play. If a ref is watching the game, you can make these calls and then players will stop. If you don't, as Smoking Jim taught all of you in 9 years, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And he believes it, folks. So that wasn't why they lost. Chip told you exactly why they lost. When you get outplayed by the better team that day, that's all that matters. They didn't look like the championship team. Mahomes didn't look like the MVP during that game, running for his life, which was just hard to see. It was one of the worst games that I watched, and I know I'm getting old, but it was one of the worst halftime shows, and I didn't understand the red coats marching around like some foreign army throughout the halftime performance. I didn't get it. So I know I'm old. I apologize to all of you
I didn't
younger.
get the headgear either, and I'm not going
I
to
can
talk
answer that
about
for you.
what they
Well,
look like.
you're a young man. Go ahead.
Right. So the weekend, he had different themes in each of his concerts that he would or his performances.
Understood.
So I don't know it personally because I've never been to any of his concerts, but
Okay.
from what I know, being in contact with the younger folk,
Yeah.
they said that he has different themes in each of his concerts and performances. So that was just like encompassing some of those themes, or it was like telling a different story based off of previous performances.
Do you
that he
agree
had.
with that, Connor?
But-
Connor
But
agrees.
but my point to that would be, because somebody tried to explain this to me on Monday, if somebody has to explain to me after the fact the point that you're trying to make,
Yes.
then you've missed the whole point of trying to make a point.
Yes.
Wow, that's
That's what I have to agree, because
Jeez.
if I don't get it watching it and you can't do it and explain it while it's going on, then I missed all that.
I didn't
Right.
watch the halftime.
I just wanted to give you an explanation, but
You were
that
counting
was,
all your winnings.
Yeah.
Chip, that was some kind of philosophy there. If,
Yeah,
you,
well,
if you're
I'll
trying
tell
to make
you
a
what,
point and somebody else has to explain it to you, you missed the
That's
point.
about the time that I clicked off the TV and went into lullaby land.
Yeah.
You slept at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got to end this. Connor, can you get a close-up?
That bread is good.
Miss Elaine, thank you. They're going to put up the recipe to banana bread. Let me try to take a bite here. Miss Elaine, I don't care how critical you are. This was moist, flavorful, and delicious. Thank
I
you
was gonna
very
say,
much.
Tell her
So
I
you
liked
learned
it
by
too.
putting that whole meatball in your mouth 2 weeks ago to not take such a big bite.
What'd you say? Miss Elaine, Smoking Jim said the little bite that I gave him because I didn't believe that he liked it. He loved it. These crumbs are good. We'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Don't change that dial.
Steelers show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25-30.
Show some love this Valentine's Day with the Bethel Park Kindness Project's Wear Your Heart on Your Window event starting Monday, February 1st. To participate, simply decorate the front window or door of your home or business with a heart, message of kindness, or both. Once done, take a picture of your completed work and share it in the comments under our special Valentine's Day post found on the Municipality of Bethel Park's Facebook page. The post will be up on Monday, February 1st. If you need help to get started, head over to EV True Value Hardware, located at 5779 Library Road, for a free red washable Crayola marker. Supplies are limited, so head over there soon. The Bethel Park Kindness Project's Wear Your Heart on Your Window event starting Monday, February 1st. We can't wait to see what you come up with.
Hi, folks. Welcome. This is Tim Campbell. I'm one of the the municipal council members in Bethel Park, and I'm happy to announce that today what we're doing, you can see behind us, is the first immunization clinic that we have here in Bethel Park. We do this in combination with Spartan Pharmacy, and amazingly, we were able to do a great private-public partnership to go ahead and make this handle. Spartan has been amazing. They bring a lot of the technical expertise. They bring with us also like the vaccine as an immunizing pharmacy. They were able to provide with us like a scheduling format for it as well. And it looks like we're going to do it, hit our goal today of about 2,000 vaccines. This was an amazing effort. It was done in combination with Spartan and their team, but also Bethel Park. So many of our community members, so many of our folks on our staff in Bethel Park municipality have also stepped up to get and volunteered to help coordinate a lot of the activities that are taking place today. Case in point two, volunteers. Bethel Park put out posts on their social media sites that said, hey, we're looking for volunteers. In 3 days, we have had 30, 40 volunteers take place. Nurses, doctors, pharmacists, volunteer clerical staff. So thanks again everybody for everybody who's volunteered and made this incredible event take place and happen. We're going to plan on doing more of these in the near future. So as long as we have vaccine available, we're going to continue these inoculation clinics. Folks, please take advantage of the opportunity. So check Spartan's site and check our social media sites at Bethel Park. Thank you.
Show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. Thanks, Chip, my main man, Corner, the varsity kicker for Gateway next year.
Time out. He lives in Baldwin.
I got an address for him. That's
lives
why
in
I brought my book of addresses, bro.
You go to Baldwin? 78.
Oh, man. My favorite fullback, Nick's in the house. And never a hair out of place. Anthony on the ones and twos, making us look good. As you guys know, I am a black man.
What?
Really? When did this happen?
Wow.
When did this happen?
Wait, what?
And I tell you what,
I'm
man.
shocked.
Smoking Jim.
I am so proud that my mentor, a guy that I had many conversations with, got inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame during Black History Month, Bill Nunn.
That is correct.
And even though I'm proud and I'm sad that Bill Nunn passed away, but there's no way my friend Bill Nunn should be in the Hall of Fame over Dick Haley, the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers during the glory years. Listen, I played college football with Dick Haley's brother, and he was a rotten guy. He was the most miserable, rotten coach. He could coach now, but he was well hated. Todd Haley, Dick Haley's son, everybody hates that dude. So if Dick Haley, I never met him, if he was anything like his brother or his son, I could see why nobody wanted to vote him in the Hall of Fame, but he deserves to go. Everybody on the Super Steelers wasn't from the black college. How about Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swan, Jack Lambert, Mike Webster, Jack Ham, Mean Joe Green, who played at North Texas State. That ain't a black college. How about Rod Woodson, Bill Cowher,
Wait a minute. Rod Woodson did not play until the 80s. He didn't play in the 70s.
Dick Haley was still the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he drafted 13 former Hall of Famers. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. DeMarty Dawson, Andy Russell, and you know I don't make any mistakes. How about Rocky Blyer? I don't think Notre Dame is a traditional black college. How about Franco Harris from Penn State? How about Randy Grossman, a good friend of mine, undersized tight end from Temple? How about the whole offensive line was white? John Cole, Mike Webster, Wolfley, Tooch Ilkin, Larry Brown from the University of Kansas that blocked for John Riggins in college. J.T. Thomas, the first black player at Florida State
Are
University.
you done with your list?
Now.
This is Black History Month.
This is Black History
What
Month.
is he talking about, folks?
But how in the world, and I'll finish up with this because I want to get the chip. How in the world could somebody that worked for Dick Haley go in the Hall of Fame, even though he's deserving, before Dick Haley? I stand up for the Polish Americans, and I'm standing up for Dick Haley. Dick Haley deserved to be in the Hall of Fame long time ago. And that's what's on my mind. Put Dick in.
Wow. Smoking Jim, you're on fire.
Everybody, even Corner agrees with that.
Hey, Tony from Chick-fil-A said, Smoking Jim doesn't know northeast, south, or west, but he knows where KFC is in Bethel Park. Thank you, Tony. And maybe he could go in line on the way home at Chick-fil-A tonight on Washington Road. Stop in there. Tony's not there tonight.
Can I ask Chip one question before you go on, Chip? Do you agree that do you agree
Just
that
ask
Dick
it.
Haley deserves to be in the Hall
Absolutely,
of Fame?
no question. Without any argument, yes, he belongs.
Now, I think I wouldn't have the Hall of Fame plaque in my basement, but if those guys want to go in, put the ones that's in that's deserving. But go ahead, Chip.
We got to go to the next one right now. Thank you, Smoking Jim, and thanks for giving Chip some time.
Once again, folks, it's time for my trivia segment, and once again, another eulogy. And isn't it? It
Yes.
seems to be like every week, a sports great is dying. And on Monday, February the 8th, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history passed away, Martin Edward Schottenheimer, a local product.
Yeah.
He was an American football linebacker and coach who served as NFL head coach in the National Football League for 21 seasons. He was the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs for 10 seasons, the Cleveland Browns and the San Diego Chargers for 5 each, and the Washington football team. For one, 8th in all-time wins with 205
Wow, that's
regular
impressive.
season wins, and 7th in regular season wins at 200. Schottenheimer is the most wins of an NFL head coach to not win a championship. After coaching in the NFL, he won a 2011 championship in the United Football League and was inducted into the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame in 2010.
Wow.
Marty Schottenheimer was a linebacker. He was drafted in the 4th round in 1965. In the NFL draft, he was pick number 49, and he was drafted in the 7th round of the AFL draft. In round 7, pick number 56. As a player, he played for the Buffalo Bills and the Boston Patriots. As a coach, he was a coach for the Portland Storm. He was a linebackers coach. The New York Giants as a linebackers coach from 75 to 76. Defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Detroit Lions linebackers coach. Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator. Cleveland Browns head coach from 84 to 88. And he was also the head coach of the team that lost on the drive and the team that lost on the fumble to the Denver Broncos in back-to-back years. He was head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs from 1989 to 1998. And on his staff with the Kansas City Chiefs, his special team coach was none other than Bill Cowher of Pittsburgh Steeler notoriety and recently elected into the Hall of Fame. He coached the Washington football team in 2001, and from 2002 to 2006, he coached the San Diego Chargers. He was also the head coach and general manager of the Virginia Destroyers of the United Football League, where he won his only championship as a head
I
coach.
didn't know that.
As a player, he was an AFL champion in 1965 with the Buffalo Bills.
Never knew that.
He was an AFL All-Star in 1965. Second-team All-American in 1964. As a coach, UFL Championship, NFL Coach of the Year in 2004, AFC Coach of the Year, 1986 and 2004. His statistics as a player, 2,000 6 interceptions for his career and 1 touchdown in 79 games played. His regular season record in the NFL was 200 and wins, 126 losses, and 1 tied, which is a .613 winning percentage. Postseason, he was 5-13, a .278 winning percentage. He was 1-0 in the United Football League. Their playoffs weren't very long, but he won it. Schottenheimer's tenure as an NFL head coach was marked by consistent regular season success and postseason struggles. From 1984 to 2006, he reached the playoffs 13 times and had only 2 losing records. He was also named NFL Coach of the Year for the Chargers in 2004 and for leading a team that went 4-12 the previous year to a 12-4 record. However, Schottenheimer won only 5 of his 18 postseason games and never advanced beyond the conference championship round of the playoffs. At the conclusion of his NFL career, he held a playoff winning percentage of .278, a stark contrast to his .613 regular season winning percentage. He is the only losing record of an NFL coach with 200 wins. He is the only eligible NFL coach with 200 regular season wins who has not been inducted into the Hall of Fame. The NFL needs to change that. Marty Schottenheimer, for whatever you personally think of him, the man is a Hall of Fame, had a Hall of Fame career.
I
He's
agree.
a Hall of Fame coach, and it's a shame that he's not going to be alive. Now, Marty Schottenheimer was afflicted with Alzheimer's, and it was just recently he was put into hospice care. So when it was announced that he passed this Monday, it wasn't a surprise because, hospice, that
It's the
comes at
last
the end of
leg,
the journey.
yeah.
But I mean, while he was still cognizant, he should have been able to reap the rewards of his life's work and been into the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go in posthumously. It should be this summer.
I'm going to fight for him.
Smoking Jim.
3 years ago, everybody knows I'm on the state of Pennsylvania Hall of Fame committee.
Not everybody, but
Well,
tell them.
I didn't know that.
I keep a lot of
Nick
people,
didn't know.
I keep a lot of people out of the Hall of Fame. But
Nick don't want to hear that.
3 years ago, we bring in, surprisingly, Bill Cowher. We had it at the Meadows, one of the hotels at the Meadows. We got Bill Cowher a hotel room. And then we bring Marty Schottenheimer in because we honored his, I believe, 1961 Fort Cherry High School. Now, they never won nothing in football,
Right.
but their basketball team won the state championship in 1961. So we bring in all these old white guys that used to hoop. And Marty gets up there, and you can tell he was sick then. It's 3 years ago.
Right.
And I just got done eating an extra plate because somebody at my table.
He couldn't eat his plate.
So when we brought in Bill Cowher comes down from his hotel room. Marty just starts crying, man. It was a great scene. Bill Cowher gets up. He talks about Marty. Then Bill Cowher had to go back to his hotel. I think he had a couple girls up there. But anywho, you could tell then, but we was able to put his 1961 Fort Cherry High School all-white basketball team in the Hall of Fame.
He was born in Canonsburg, went to high school, Fort Cherry. Another Fort Cherry alum
Transferred?
was Marvin
Marvin
Lewis.
Well, let's not talk about guys that can't coach. But also,
Is that your
Fort Cherry-
opinion?
Also, Fort Cherry, Dick Haley. See,
There you go.
great minds think alike.
Telling you, we haven't conversed since last Wednesday night or
That's
Thursday
right,
night.
That's right. Fort Cherry never
But-
won nothing in football.
But
But-
once
Mr.
again,
Negativity strikes again.
once again,
Strikes
we've got
again.
more and more of our sports heroes from, the sports that we've loved for the last 30, 40 years.
Look in this last year.
I mean, just in the last year, the numbers are staggering. It's such
Yes.
a shame.
Can you look it up when you get a chance? I think more
Who's
horse.
he talking?
I think more horse jockeys came out of Fort Cherry than any other school. I could be wrong.
Let me explain
But
something.
that's what I heard.
Let me explain something about horse jockeys.
They're little
don't
guys.
They don't race at the Meadows.
Drivers.
Yeah, they're drivers. I taught you
You
that.
taught me that.
And you got to, this is Black History Month. Try to do your research on black jockeys, and you'll be amazed with the black jockeys that were in the sport for many years.
Well, for years, black guys weren't allowed to get on no horse.
This is
I
before.
seen Django. Did you see Django? Black guys couldn't ride no horse. How they gonna be? What was they running alongside the horse?
Smoking Jim.
I knew they was fast, but come on, man.
Smoking Jim. I'm trying to give some respect to your black heritage. Just look up black jockeys in horse racing
Okay.
with thoroughbreds.
Okay, I'll look that up.
They were stars. They even won the Kentucky Derby. But I know you don't know much, so I understand.
Black guys
You got Gateway High School, and that's it. There's
black
nothing
guys
else.
or black face?
Black men.
Oh no.
Black men. Al
Oh.
Jolson was a singer. All right? He made millions because of that.
Really? I never knew
That's
that.
Al
Hey,
Jolson. He was a white guy.
I'm gonna start reading books.
9+ years, folks. He said he's going to read books. Ask him about the Black Negro baseball book that he read.
I read
17 pages. 17 pages.
Cool Papa Bell.
And look at Satchel Paige, Hall of Fame. So,
All right.
all right, we'll carry on. We'll go to Nick because he got some interesting subjects to bring up right now.
Conspiracy theories.
Hopefully, these are true
Yeah.
conspiracies.
So
There's been so many false ones. I want a true one. Give
right.
it, lay it
No,
on me.
Well, this, I don't
Lay
know.
it on me. I
Okay.
trust you.
It's a theory. I don't know if it's true, but
Well, if it's your
how I
theory,
predicted,
it's true.
right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I predicted them to win the Super Bowl. You got to
Thank
think.
you.
You got to think outside the box a bit.
I do.
You need to not listen to ESPN. That's a start too.
I
All
don't.
the people who are on that show, they don't. know- They give hot takes so they can make money. That's not how you pick.
Is that why they make millions?
Exactly. They just because they.
I'm new to this.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Just
Anyway.
saying.
But so no bashing to Al or Chip or
None taken.
Smoking Jim gives some hot takes. But anyway, but so they think logically.
He's an
right-
entertainer.
Right, he's an entertainer. You
Yeah.
two though are the ones that give. Yeah. Okay.
We try to give
facts.
facts.
So, and think logically, which makes sense, right? Like the Chiefs are a good team.
There,
They'll
one
go
plus one equals 2,
Right.
unless you ask Smoking Jim.
Do I want to ask him now?
No,
Okay, well,
Gateway. Gateway, come on. You're my straight man now. Gateway.
Right.
They don't have the answer.
But the whole idea is, it's like
Sorry, Gateway.
the NFL has to make a large sum of money based off of the two teams that make it to the Super Bowl because they want it to be an interesting matchup. What I think they believe the most interesting matchup would be Patrick Mahomes being the young quarterback who's likely to reach all these accomplishments as he comes through his career.
Before you
And
get
then-
any further,
Okay.
I have a theory about most sports is fixed.
Okay. Right. Well, that's what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah, I discovered that when I was your age.
Right. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Now, you watch the Steelers.
How did I guess?
Right. Yeah. But you watch the Steelers go 11-0. But I have a theory. Well, not a theory. This
Go
is
ahead.
kind of a fact that most NFL fans don't like the Steelers because of their franchise history and because of some of the rather unorthodox characters they've had recently. Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and his couple scandals in the late 2000s.
Actually, we're one of the
So-
most popular teams.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, they buy our jerseys and stuff all the time. Black
Well, that's
and
because we're
gold.
not winning Super Bowls anymore.
But you,
while they were winning,
you
a bunch
got to
of
go
Super
back
Bowls-
in history. Art Rooney, who's a legend, for 40 years, he couldn't win any games. His son Dan created the dynasty that you say people are jealous of and don't like.
Right. Well, yeah, that's when I brought Chuck Nolan too.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Well,
He
that's
really-
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. But
1969 is a good year.
But they're not. They weren't. I didn't feel them to be a Super Bowl team, especially after they lost to the Washington Football Team. I'm like, yeah, I don't know anymore.
Good point.
Right. The Buffalo Bills, they kind of came out of nowhere. Same thing with the Cleveland Browns. So like, you're not gonna see them in the Super Bowl because, like, I mean, the Cleveland Browns are good, but like winning a Super Bowl after having a subpar year the year before, that wouldn't make enough sense.
No, you're forgetting one other thing.
Yeah. What
They're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, they're not a Super Bowl contending team, but that's what people thought about the Buccaneers too. So you got to be careful.
Well,
I
they had a
thought
change.
preseason-
What was the change the Buccaneers had?
Oh yeah, they got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
other
Right.
players, yeah.
So, but in the AFC, you had all these other teams that like could have made it, but they weren't going to be the big storyline, right? So it's got to be Mahomes going for the repeat, but well, not but. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what makes the most sense. Now in the NFC, you have Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski on the same team, and they started out the year struggling. You know, they were still trying to. Tom Brady was still trying to get familiar with the offense of the Buccaneers, and Bruce Arians, is you call him a genius, smoking
Yes,
Jim.
sir.
So,
Yes,
you know, but they're trying to mesh and go well together. So they're not the best team of all the NFC teams. They're still kind of an underdog, but it's like Tom Brady. What can he do in the playoffs? They sneak into the playoffs, they make it. Then they got to go up against all these other teams. You got the Saints.
Weren't
who-
they on the road for every game?
Yeah, and that too.
That's rare.
Who'd they beat first? I forget. Was it the Saints they beat first?
They beat the Saints,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Packers, and then
So it was-
no,
The
they
Chiefs.
we beat the Saints. They beat
Yeah.
The Packers.
no the Packers. They beat the NFC Championship
Yeah.
So
game.
who'd they beat first?
Who-
I forget. Oh, the Washington football team. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a no-brainer.
WFL.
I can't even remember who they are. They don't even have a nickname.
This
No, but
proves
so-
your theory.
Right. So like they beat a rather easy team in the Washington football team. The Saints, I mean, they were good, but they weren't strong enough to be Super Bowl contenders. Drew Brees is old, and
Well, 11 broken
he's-
ribs and a punctured lung. How do you come back that quickly?
well, I mean,
Just a little question.
right. So like the storyline's not with Drew Brees and the Saints. Aaron Rodgers, that was a good NFC matchup, but I mean the Packers still aren't
Well,
strong. That's
except
not.
on your conspiracy thing,
Yes.
you have an MVP type quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And you have a third down play, and you don't let him do a RPO and run.
Exactly.
And he had a wide open field. Why,
Exactly.
Is the game fixed?
Perhaps.
Okay.
I mean, no.
Just
but
wanted
think
to
about it, though,
carry-
like,
just
the-
wanted to carry
And why
that
did the
through.
Packers kick a field goal when they did? Right. Like it's all just silly stuff.
Well, Aaron Rodgers
Right.
could have ran for 2 downs.
Right. So it's just like, like what's going to be the most interesting matchup? It's not with Breeze. It's certainly not with the Washington football team. And it's not
Yes.
with
They can't even name their team.
exactly. And it's not with the Packers. Rodgers versus Mahomes, like that sounds nice, but like what would be better?
That
Tom
would
Brady.
be great. Green Bay
Right?
fans are unbelievable.
Right. I mean they are, but like still the Packers aren't like the storyline. The storyline is
Well, in your
Tom
opinion,
Brady
in your opinion.
can win. Right. In my
Okay.
opinion.
All right.
But this just plays into my theory, which
Go
is my
ahead.
opinion. But yeah, so
Right.
Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And I was thinking back mid-season, I'm like, well, if anything's going to unfold, the Buccaneers weren't doing well. They started doing better, and they've got a good chance to make the playoffs. That's why I said Bucks, because that's a storyline you want to see. Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again.
Maybe
and-
that's why the ratings tanked on it.
Yeah. Everybody else thought the same way.
But that's all the analysts telling you, oh, this is going to be such a good game. This is going to be a great game between Brady and Mahomes.
Right.
And
And
apparently nobody else
but it's
thought
not.
so
But it
either.
wasn't. It didn't turn out to be a good game. And I heard Jim Nantz say, or Tony Romo say, "Oh, this isn't what we expected." Well, you watch the game, dude. You don't expect what happens. You watch to find out what happens. You don't expect what's going to happen. It
Well,
could
he
be a
likes to-
blowout. It could be close.
He likes to predict everything,
Right.
so he was shocked.
Like, oh, we didn't expect this. Of course, you didn't expect it. That's why you watch, because you want to find out what happened. But yeah, that's how I came to that pick.
Here,
Don't-
welcome aboard.
Yeah, don't.
Welcome aboard to my ship.
Yes.
I've
Conspiracy
already
theories.
believed in that. Yes.
So
I think most games are fixed. That's why Smoking Jim bets the wrong team all the time.
I can be
But-
bought.
but the
But
NFL.
they don't tell him.
But
He won't offer any money. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but the whole point is, it's like what's going to make the NFL the most money, and Brady and Mahomes seem to be the best choice because you got the youngest quarterback. Well, not the youngest quarterback in the league, but a young quarterback in the league who
Yeah.
has the potential to do great things, and the quarterback who's already done great things. Easy storyline for everybody. Most likely to get many people to watch and be interested in it, and so that's how it unfolded. It's about making the league money.
Makes sense.
Yes.
There's no surprise here. You just joined. We've been talking about a lot of this stuff for years, so welcome aboard.
Thank you. Yeah. So
And
that's-
I've been talking about this for 30 years. So
But the bottom line, if you want to pick a winner, don't listen to ESPN and think a little less logically. It's never who you expect.
AKA
not-
Smoking Jim Frazier.
Not that lack of logic, more a little bit, not that much.
And that's from Waynesburg U. Straight from Waynesburg classroom today. Thank you, Nick. Now we'll go to my segment. on location, March 13th. Mark your calendars. I don't know what it'll cost to watch the fights on March 13th at 6 p.m. Smoking Jim and I will be announcing and filming that game, or those fights. Sorry about that. We're stuck in the football mode. All right, I'm out now. We've got a lot of great amateur boxing at the USS Fight Academy at 1712 North Lincoln Highway in North Versailles. So check it out. When we get prices on the tickets, we'll let you know. I post it up on my page and on Facebook, Pittsburgh Sportsline, so you're aware of it. Smoking Jim, our friend Ernie, said to say hello. He also wants to go to the fights early to see how they set up the ring during COVID. So he wants me to ask them if he can come in to visit and watch that, because he's going to add that to a book. And I have to announce, Smoking Jim's been in Ernie's books. Ernie Keegan writes some boxing books. On his third call in 3 days, he goes, "Hey, Al, I got a question." I go, "Ask away." He goes, "Would you mind being in one of my books?" I said, "If you put Al Levine, the talking machine, in one of your boxing books, that'd be great." So he has a fourth book that's coming out. He's sending it to me because actually I read books. Smoking Jim does not. And he's going to put it in the mail when he gets his fourth book out. But that's our update there. We're going to come back with some Penguin talk, and we've got some great Penguin talk in the last 8 minutes of the show. Enjoy the commercial, and we'll see you back in a minute or two.
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Rachel Harris has it.
Bethel Park Inline Hockey. It's fast, it's fun, and we want you to play. Inline hockey is just like ice hockey, but no ice, and significantly less expensive and far less of a time commitment. Way less travel than ice hockey, too. The sport is played on a specialized rink at the Bridgeville Rollerplex, RMU Island Sports Complex, Harmerville's Alpha Arena, Hot Shots Indoor Sports Arena, and the Murraysville Sports Zone. Our teams play in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Roller Hockey League, or the PIRHL. Each year, teams from elementary, middle, and high school play a 16-game schedule, plus playoffs, from October through March. Practice one evening a week and games on Saturdays or Sundays. The sport is recognized by the Bethel Park School District, which means student athletes can earn a letter once they reach high school. We play rivals such as Upper St. Clair, Peters Township, Canemak, Pine Richland, North Hills, and so many more. This is no pickup game. You'll need regulation pads, hockey skates, helmets, and the coolest Hawks uniforms around. 2 refs at every game officiate 3 15-minute periods with a running clock. No icing, no offsides, no checking. But this sport will rock you. Registration is coming up, so check out our website at www.bpinlinehockey.com and sign up soon. Let's play!
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Rachel Harris has it.
We're back. Penguin Talk. They got some new people in there. Who would think we'd get a Philadelphia Flyers star? Ronnie Hextall is our GM.
Well, I can
Who
tell
would
you.
think?
Well, did you know that he has Pittsburgh ties?
No.
His father, Brian Hextall, played for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And
Wow.
Ron Hextall grew up in Green Tree.
I didn't know that. Right in our hometown.
Yeah.
Right in our
There you
town.
go.
Yes.
But yeah,
I missed that.
Ron Hextall is now the acting general manager, and Brian Burke is director of hockey operations. Now, Brian Burke, on a podcast back in November, said that the Pittsburgh Penguins' window of opportunity to win Stanley Cups is closed. So that leads me to ask, then why did you take the job in Pittsburgh?
He wants to open it.
Interesting question to ask there. And what are they going to do with the Pittsburgh Penguins? Now, right now at the end of the first period, Penguins are up on the island in New York, and they're losing 2-1, and it seems to be the same story.
Every
different
game.
night.
Yeah.
They're behind once again, and they seem to be consistent with this team so far this year. Their defense is abominable, and their goaltending is suspect at best. So they brought in a guy who was noted as one of the fiercest goaltenders
That I ever saw.
in the time that he played hockey, and everybody has to look back to it what Ron Hextall did with his stick to Robbie Brown
Yeah.
back in the 80s when the Flyers were playing the Penguins.
You
And that
remember
was-
Smoking Jim?
That was back around the days when the Flyers had beaten Pittsburgh for 15 years in a row
right.
in Philadelphia. And the Penguins didn't beat the Flyers very often. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this team here because I know there's going to have to be trades made. And I would think that the two goaltenders that we have now are not going to be the two goaltenders we have a month from now.
That makes
Just
sense.
my
Chip.
humble opinion.
No, I know it's been tough watching the Penguins because they're very similar. They've rarely had a lead in a game, and they just keep following up. They've been behind.
And when the goaltenders block a shot, somebody from the opposing team happens to be standing in the crease
Yes,
to stuff the puck right past the goaltender.
it's happened all the
And
time.
and it continues to happen. And Chris Letang, for some reason, the Penguins don't want to trade him. I think he's the most overrated player on the team. I think he's more of a liability than he is an asset. Great. He has offensive flashes, but he has defensive breakdowns with such
Regularity.
disturbing consistency
Yeah.
that, I have to say, is it worth him having him on the roster? To be honest with you, and I don't know if they could get anything for him.
No.
I would take two young defensemen and maybe a bucket of pucks for Chris Letang at this
I don't
point.
think they
but
can
for us
get
to-
much for him. I
But
don't
for us
think-
to for us to get rid of Chris Letang, we're going to have to eat some of his salary,
Right.
which is going to further hinder our ability to replace him under the salary cap.
No,
So-
they're in a tough position, sort of like what the Pirates are in, and it's time for a rebuild. You have the three top players, but they limit what we can do, and they're in their mid-30s now or early 30s, and we actually see a drop-off in skills.
Well, and
People
yeah,
don't want
that's-
to acknowledge it, but they do drop off.
And Penguins management has stated they're not tearing this down. They're going to try to win one more cup with this core group of players. I just don't know if they have enough gas in the tank.
Well, within what time frame? That's what I
Well,
want.
the clock's ticking.
Yes, it is. We got 2 minutes. Smoking Jim, what's your
Can I
interruption?
give a quick shout out?
To Yammer Yager?
Good
Yes.
Karma. Good Karma from the show, one of the youngest kids we ever interviewed on the show. His mom is Mrs. Pennsylvania, former Mrs. Pennsylvania. Sindel Blake, her son, 7th grade, won the championship on the 8th grade team, blocked the shot, stole the ball, went down, and kissed a 17-footer with no time left on the clock to win the game. So congratulations to
Wow.
Blake. I promised Sindel, beautiful lady, right up there with Kim Kardashian, the most beautiful lady on the planet.
I
And
disagree.
will-
I disagree with the Kardashians.
So do I.
Nobody turns that. Nobody. would
Yes,
turn that down.
I have
I
to.
already said I would.
Yes.
I go Anna Nicole.
I'm with you, Green Tree.
Yes.
Anna Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's a hit of Anna. Oh man. Woo! If I was a billionaire and 108 years old, I'd have a shot at Anna when she was living.
Smoking Jim, we're going to be ending this, but it was a great show. Smoking Jim let the rest of us make our points tonight. He was so overloaded last week that thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Always appreciate your quote. I am an honest man. And it just rings with me. I don't know. Thanks for your conspiracy theory. That's something I discovered.
Next week, a
Long time.
little teaser for next week.
Go ahead, Chip.
Next week, in honor of Black History Month, we're going to be talking the Negro Leagues and the Hall of Fame.
Wow, I like that. I sent something to Smoking Jim on top Negro athletes that was a classic. Hopefully you read more than the first one, but I'm not sure about that. So we'll have to check that out. Thanks again to Anthony, not one hair out of place. Connor, no shorts. Nick, Green Tree is strong. We got Green Tree power. We're all good. We'll go have some pizza at Beto's. Can't beat that. Thanks, Chip. Thanks, Smoking Jim. Please stay Joey strong.